Hello, hello, hello! Hello!
So fun to be here finally after all this time.
Back after all this time. It's been a while and we're so excited to have all of you with us here in our kitchen one more time. Let me turn the sound off so we can start looking at comments. There's Lori Lanford right there.
Hi, Lori.
It's so good to see you too, Lori.
It has been so cold here in Utah. We've had such wonderful, wonderful snow. We still have our sweaters and jeans on here, and we are in the midst of winter, it feels like.
It's like crazy winter. Like the ski resorts, if you're a skier, like the resorts have like 500 inches. It's like nothing we've ever seen. And so it has been quite a winter. But it doesn't feel like winter in the vanilla bean world because it's like vanilla bean season right now.
It is. We are so busy. We have been so busy this year trying to find as many beans as we can to bring to you guys. Wow, I think that's why we haven't done any lives lately. We've been so busy trying to find new beans.
I think the last live we did was at Starlet's home over the summer, and then bean season kicked in. And we need to say our number one priority is always sourcing the very best vanilla beans and giving you the best variety to choose from for all of your extracts. We now source vanilla beans from 22 countries, and we have, I think, 36 different varieties of beans from 22 different countries, which is absolutely amazing. It's been a lot. It's been a feat. And
it's been fun.
It has been so much fun, and you know, we're doing it for everyone. We love it as well. We've got a bunch of our extracts on display. We're going to get into these extracts today. But what a crazy job it is, and it's been tons of fun, and our goal this year is to bring you even more. There's these little countries that are producing vanilla beans now, and so we've got a number of beans that are on the horizon coming from these smaller regions that are just getting into the vanilla bean world. So we expect to introduce just as many new vanilla beans this year as we did last year, and we will just keep supporting all these great local farmers and helping those vanilla communities grow all around the world until the entire world is sweet and kind and happy because they're making vanilla extracts and they are as sweet as our group right here.
Yes. Oh my goodness. It's so good to see all of you here. Oh,
so let's see what we've
Roxanne.
got. Ann, Bonnie, hello. We've got people from
Lauren.
Canada. Roxanne Young, Lori Lanford again.
Janica King.
Houston, Texas is here. Where else have we got people from? Michigan, we've got people. Southeastern Massachusetts, Missouri. Hi, Jill and Paul from Garland. Jeanette. Hi, Jeanette, our neighbor. Good to see you on here, Jeanette. That was one of the last ones we did as well, was up with Jeanette.
That was so fun.
So hopefully we're coming through okay. It sounds like it. We're getting positive feedback. Everybody's hearing us. There's a video going. Based on my computer screen, it appears that we're in the middle of a Facebook Live.
Hopefully.
So hopefully that's exactly what it is. So we're just so glad to be in front of everyone again. It's been way too long. So welcome back to our kitchen. We hope to do a lot more of these this year. And we've got some fun projects too that we'll be
we have so many fun things coming up this year. We can't wait to share them with you.
We can't. This spring we have a real fun announcement that we'll be making, and then there's a lot of other things we're talking about in our group. We could go on and on and on and on and on and on forever. But how about should we dive in?
Yeah, let's dive in.
Let's jump in. Tennessee's here, Delaware's here, everybody's here. Council Bluffs, Iowa's here. Let's jump in. First of all, we have 90,000 members in our Facebook group. 90,000.
Awesome!
So we started the group in August of 2020, so we're going to hit 100,000 members before we hit our 3-year mark, which is just mind-boggling to us that this little tiny hobby that Jill and her friends made vanilla extract right here in 2016, and now here we are with like 90,000 people celebrating that moment and everybody interested in participating in sort of that craft.
Yeah.
And how fun is that? So we're all bound by the vanilla bean together.
Who knew?
90,000. Our Facebook page has like 177,000 followers and growing at an incredible rate. Our YouTube channel, for those of you that are watching YouTube, we're up to like 3,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So if you're watching on YouTube, click that subscribe button because we've got other announcements that we'll be announcing through a group, through YouTube. What else? Our Instagram, I think we've got 14,000 followers on ours. It's absolutely crazy how many people are interested in extract making.
So fun.
And we're just glad we get to do it with you.
Yep.
So also, we introduced our brand new group experts
So fun.
So fun.
Oh, there's so many wonderful people in our group, and it's so fun to showcase and let other people shine and show us what they know, and you know, the kindness that comes through all of our experts is just wonderful.
It's absolutely wonderful. So for all of you new people in the group, when you see the group expert badge, in our group, that expert badge means something. And it's really, really important so that when you see the badge, you know that you're getting advice from people that really kind of know a thing or two about extract making, right? So there's 3 criteria to become a group expert. 1, you have to be in our group for more than a year. And so every one of our new group experts joined last February or earlier, some much earlier. 2, you have to have been nominated for Free Beans for Kind Words at least once. So that means all of our experts are happy, kind, nice people, right? And then 3, you've got to be recognized by the admins, by us, as being top contributors and great contributors in our group. And what does that mean to us? It's obviously you're experienced, you know how to make extracts, but above all things, you're nice.
Yes.
You're nice. The way that you use your knowledge is nice. It's humble. It's when new people come into our group, you're kind to them, you help them. Those are the qualifications we look for in group experts, that there is negative nothing associated with that person when we call them and ask them to be group experts. And so being a group expert in our group means obviously you're experienced in extract making, but 2, they're the nicest people in the world. And so we just, if we're putting together our group of best friends, our group experts are at the tip top of the list. They're wonderful human beings. So when you see that badge, for all you new people that are in our group, and there's tens of thousands of you that are new, they're really nice, experienced people that'll help you out. We answer the same questions from new people every day, and we love it when you come here, and we love it when you ask questions, because we were all new, and we all needed a place to begin, and we hope that our group is the place where you start.
Yep.
That's really all that we hope. We hope you come here and it's a safe place, and you learn how to make extracts with the nicest people on the planet. And so, group expert, nice, experienced person who's been here at least for a year, so they're fully vetted, right?
Well, it's so much easier to learn in a place where you feel safe and not afraid to ask questions, and that's what we want our group to be, is that no matter what level you are, you can ask a question and you get an answer in a respectful, sweet way.
That's it. That's exactly it. Because it's such a fun craft. That's how it started.
It is.
Jill was in here with her friends in 2016, laughing, and they weren't drinking the alcohol. They were just
You had to save it.
I know. They were just like high on life, enjoying the moment, and that's the moment that we've been trying to duplicate with all of you in your homes for the last 7 years, and here we all are. So let's introduce our new group experts. In case you didn't see the post, we want to just give a quick shout out to all of our brand new group experts.
We want to formally invite you. Okay, should we get going?
Yep, we'll introduce them
The
here.
first one is Laura Octon, all the way across the ocean.
We have to say this
Great Britain.
with Laura in Great Britain. She's so far away, and here she is. I see her commenting all over the group because she's awesome, and the time difference is so big, so we actually did a video call with Laura before we asked her to be a group expert, just to say like, hey, like, it's like 2 in the morning, your time, when people are talking our time.
And she's there.
She's like, are you kidding? I'm up for it. I love it. So we actually got to meet Laura personally, virtually, where we have never had a group expert from the other side of the pond. And so Laura, you're representing everyone right now outside of the U.S., and you're such a great member of our group, and you have been from day one. And so nice to have you, Laura, and thanks for accepting that request. Go ahead.
No matter what time of the day.
No matter what time of the day, Laura is there.
Okay, for all of our other amazing, amazing experts, we have Mary Elizabeth Turber.
Mary.
Oh, love her, love her, love her. Debbie Foreman.
Debbie.
Debbie, been with us forever. John Meyer.
John, we love John, our vanilla bean plant, like horticulturist.
Yes.
Botanist, like knows everything about growing vanilla vines. So he is a great expert to have.
Okay, Diane O.
Diane O. Teresa said hi, Diane.
BJ Shaw.
BJ, we're so glad to have you, BJ. Super talented.
Colleen Bullock.
Colleen, also talented, been in our group for a long time, and we're so glad that you're with us.
And Lori Bishel.
Lori,
thank you so much.
Same thing. These are wonderful human beings, and we've had the chance to email and be associated with a lot of them. Again, either via phone call, email, and they really are just the sweetest, kindest people
Thank you, thank you.
on the planet. So, group experts all get $150 in Vanilla Pure gift cards. Ooh. Because we want to give back a little bit and give you even more vanilla beans. so that you can make more and more extracts. The previous group experts got their last $75 gift card last month, and the new group experts, your $25 gift card is going out the end of this month. So you'll get an email as soon as that goes out. So welcome, group experts. To all of you watching that aren't experts, you're in good hands with this group of 8 experts that we have.
Yep.
And if you're interested in being an expert next August, you know what you got to do. Be nice, be in our group for more than a year, get nominated for free beans for kind words, which helps us know that you're nice. And that's it. And post a lot so we can see your creations and we know that you're experienced and that you get great advice with extract making. Okay, now, every party that we've done from the beginning of parties, in the beginning, when parties got invented, we always start with a brand new, simple vanilla extract. This is kind of tradition. And we do this because we have so many new members of our group that have never made extracts before. You see them pop up and they're like, how do I begin? So we always begin with the way that we all began, all of you that are commenting and you experienced people, we all began with our first one.
Yep.
And our first one is simple, but it's not so simple that you don't have questions because you don't want to like ruin it. You spend money on the beans and the alcohol, you want to make sure it turns out right.
Yeah.
So we're going to make...
is cheap. Alcohol is not cheap, and either are the beans.
Well,
so
neither is time.
Yes.
I mean,
definitely.
we've been there.
Yes.
We waited a whole year with the people that are like, just throw a couple beans in a bottle of vodka and wait a year and you're fine. And then a year later, it's like, this is horrible. We did that. And so we don't want that to happen to any of you. So should we make just our first simple extract? It's going to take 5 minutes. We love doing this.
Not
even 5 minutes.
You guys know this is easy.
Okay, let's make it. Extract making time.
Okay, so all you need is an ounce of beans. You know that's the best day in the world.
Bean arrival day.
Beans in the mail, right? That's awesome.
We love bean arrival day.
So your beans will come in a package. It's a 1 ounce amount of beans, and I've chosen Hawaiian.
Ooh, Hawaiian bean season is on, and we need to say these Hawaiian beans that everybody's ordering right now, we pollinated those Hawaiian beans. The beans that you are getting right now are the same beans that Jill and I, and you can go back and see our video from last April. We got up early in the morning, and the orchids were in bloom, and we were instructed, and we went through, and we hand-pollinated all these vanilla, not all of them.
No,
I wish I could say all of them.
No, not
Do you know what
even close.
Hindsight, if next time we go to a farm, if we're there, like, we're going to tattoo our initials in. Like, if we're there on Harvest Day when you clip them from the vine.
Okay.
And so you'll get like a P and a J. That would be fun. That's what we're going to try to do next time. But we pollinated many of these, some of these, a couple of these. Hawaiian, more than 1 or 2. So
Okay.
Hawaiian vanilla beans, yes.
So it's so easy. You just need 1 ounce of beans, and I'm just going to cut these open. First I'm going to smell them because who doesn't want to do that? Right?
Oh my gosh. And the Hawaiian vanilla beans are beautiful, they're fragrant, they're just
and
so much fun.
There's so much oil on that, my goodness. So you get to pick. If you want to keep them whole in this jar, you could just fold them down and put them in, or you can actually cut them in half, or you can tie them just in a knot. So easy. And then they stay down there, and you get to keep all the caviar that's still in there. So you get to do just about anything you want, which is what I love about this. This is a craft. There are no rules. You get to choose. What is it you like to do? So when I used to cut these, I used to use a knife. I just use scissors now because it's so much easier. So I'm going to cut these. I usually cut them in 3s, and they just go down pretty easy. I tie a couple.
So the decision between cutting and slicing is just what you want to do with that caviar, whether you want caviar inside your extracts. We call the little seeds in the vanilla pods the caviar. That's what everyone calls it.
Yeah.
We didn't coin that phrase. It's been that way. But that's your decision really behind cutting or not cutting. And then also there's some data that says the smaller the pieces, the more surface area contact that you get with the alcohol, the faster it'll extract. And we think that that's true. We think you get an extract a little bit faster with more surface area in touch with the alcohol.
And I also like the pods in my extract. I love seeing all those little dots in there. So I don't want to have just, extract where there aren't any of those little specks. That's the fun part of it.
One of our members asked, Christy asked, are those the best to use? I think she's referring to the vanilla beans. They're all great. And so that's why you go to on vanillapura.com. We have a whole extract making section. You can go down in that section. It's organized by beans, by alcohol, and everything you need to know. So you can look at the different taste profiles of every single one of them to know which one's best for you. So the answer to your question, is that the best? It depends what you're trying to create with your extract.
Now, if you're going for very traditional vanilla, then you might want to go for the Madagascar bean. That's probably the most traditional tasting vanilla bean that you're probably familiar with. So if this is your very first time, maybe you start with Madagascar, but really you can start with any of these.
Yep, someone asked how long does it take to get an orchid on your vanilla bean vine? We've got people that are growing vines now. Most of them, as we've seen, they're about 4 years old when you get quite a few orchids. At 3 years you start getting a few, but really 4 years seems to be the sweet spot in the farms that we visited, where you start getting quite a few. And then when those orchids bloom, you gotta hand pollinate them like that morning. If you don't do it the morning of bloom, you're probably not going, the odds of you getting a good vanilla bean go down the longer you wait. So most vanilla beans are pollinated like before noon, the morning of the bloom.
Yep.
So, but you'll start seeing them in 3 years, but 4 years seems to be the sweet spot for most of our farmers. Go ahead, sorry.
Okay, so I put 1 ounce of beans in there. Some of them are whole, where I haven't cut them, so I can save the caviar. Some of them are cut, so I'm gonna get some of that yummy caviar in my extract when it's finished. So I know that this is an 8-ounce bottle, so I don't have to measure how much vodka. And I've chosen Kettle One vodka. Really, it's a good vodka, and it's one that we already had in the house, so I'm gonna go ahead and use it. I'm not gonna go, a special trip when I have some out there, and Kettle One has proved to be a pretty good vodka for extracting.
Yeah, you don't need to go to the top shelf, especially with vodkas. Vodkas offer sort of a lot of options, so you don't have to go super expensive. We've had great extracts with Tito's. We've had great extracts with the high-end, like the Grey Goose. Good extracts with like Kirtland vodka, Kettle One, Svedka, they're all great. And then Jill says it's an 8-ounce bottle. Most bottles, when we source them, they're actually a little more than 8 ounces. And so we know that the beans displace some of that alcohol. And so some people will say, well, is it actually 8 ounces after you put the 1 ounces of beans with displacement? You fill it to the top, you're going to be really close to, if not 8 ounces, because all the bottles are just a little bit larger than 8 ounces.
Yeah.
Same thing with the 16-ounce bottles. They're all a little bit more than 16 ounce. They're all a little higher than 24. So there's always a little more room to account for displacement. You're going to be just fine.
Yeah. There you go.
That
How
is it.
easy was that? So you can shake it up a little bit. Some people like to go in and shake it every week. You know what? I just leave it in the back of the cupboard and let it do its thing on its own. Go in and check it ever so often. And then we found that in about a year, you're going to have the sweetest vanilla. Now, do you have to wait a year?
So this is a hot question, and we're going to give our answer. Do you have to wait a year for vanilla extract to be complete? When you're making it in your home, here's the answer. It's ready when you think that it's ready.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It's
Yeah.
that simple. So a lot of people in our group right now is, am I too late to make extracts for this Christmas? No. We've made extracts like 2 months before Christmas. And then we usually include like a little note with the extracts. We say that this extract, like you, becomes sweeter with time.
Yeah.
And then we tell the person receiving the gift when, we think when the extract hits its year mark, we think that that's sort of the sweet spot. But you can taste test it. You can use it a lot sooner. When someone in our group says, I tasted mine in 90 days and it tasted great, we're not going to tell them that it didn't taste great because they tasted it in their kitchen and it was great. However, the reason everybody says 1 year, and it's sort of by survey and just by universal feedback, it sure seems apparent to us that extracts hit their sweet spot right around that 1 year mark when you're using like lighter spirits like vodka.
Yeah.
When you're using like a bourbon or a dark rum, sometimes people want to wait all the way up to 2 years, 18 months to 2 years.
Yeah, it's stronger.
So the answer to the question is, the extract's ready when you think it's ready. If you like the taste, when you do a taste test, and you can learn how to do taste tests on vanillapure.com, there's a taste test section, show you how it's done. If you think it's ready, start using it. But everyone in the group rightly is saying, hey, if you wait a year, you're going to maximize sweetness. That's the idea. That's what we've learned.
Yeah, and here's a tip. If you have a question about vanilla, go onto our website, go to that little key, and just put in some keywords and see what comes up. I bet you'll get your answer, because we have a lot of content on our website that answers just about every question with vanilla extract.
We try to fill our website with the answers that are sort of vetted, tried and true, and then the stuff that's sort of cutting edge, we typically don't do that on our website until we see that a lot of people have done it a certain way, and then there's consensus, and then we'll put it. So we really try to make vanillapura.com the center for good information on extract making to make sure that your first extract turns out great. But that's our answer when someone says, can I use it in 90 days? Or if you like it in 90 days, use it in 90 days.
Try it out.
Our experience says a year is worth the wait. It's really, really good after a year. And with bourbons, 2 years, a year and a half, totally worth the wait. And then some of our extracts that are, beyond 3, like they just keep getting better.
Yeah.
They're really good. Someone says, what happens if you find a tattoo? Well, that's just good luck. Do you remember the old Tootsie Pops? And if you found like there was a star, right?
Yeah.
If you found it, that's like that. Like it's like if you find the star, which is a tattoo, like that means good luck, and you can take it down to the local 7-Eleven, and they'll give you a free gumball. Teasing, don't do that. That's what we did when we were kids. What else? Holy crap! Processed vanilla beans always. Marinate the pod. You get seeds out by squeezing them out. So a lot of discussion about cutting versus non-cutting. That's good feedback. Read the comments.
Yeah.
Experts are weighing in. Previous experts are weighing in, and so you've got great feedback there.
Yeah, and so how we taste it is what we do is we just take a tablespoon of milk, we put a couple drops of our extract in it, stir it up a little bit, take a couple sips, and see what you think.
There you go.
That's how we taste test. Some people add a little bit of sugar, and they'll do it in like whipped cream or something. So if you prefer that, you can try that as well.
There you go. So, any other questions? Fun to look for the tattoo. Lots of people talk about tattoos. Tattoos are so much fun.
Who doesn't want good luck?
Taste testing both ways. Okay. Hello from Mary. Hi, Mary. We love Mary.
We do.
We need to go to Southern California. She has graciously, I should say, invited us to do a live.
Oh, that would be so fun.
So we need to get to Southern California to do that. So let's move on. Section number 2. We're going to talk about fresh fruit extract. So we have been working hard trying to figure out a simple, memorable way to teach about how to use fresh fruit to make extracts that turns out great, right? Now, most of the time when you're making extracts, most people recommend use dried fruit. And the drier the better because the more concentrated it is. We don't disagree, but the challenge, go ahead.
But you can use any alcohol you want when you do that. You're not,
Meaning any alcohol content.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you use dried fruit, then you can use vodka, rum, bourbon, tequila, whatever it is you like. You can use any of those. But then when you add fresh fruit, then you have to, use certain kinds of alcohol because you're adding all the water of that fresh fruit.
And that's exactly it. And so we've done extracts previously with dried fruit. There's instructions out there how to do that. But fresh fruit, one, it's a lot less expensive. It's available at most grocery stores. Sometimes it's hard to find the dry stuff. And so we get a lot of people that want to use fresh fruit extract. So we've been trying to come up with a simple way, because everyone knows when you make vanilla extract, it's 1 ounce of beans for every 8 ounces of alcohol. So what's the simple way to teach and to use fresh fruit extract? We have done tons, over the last year, we have done tons of fresh fruit extract experimenting. And we've had some mistakes that we've made, and we've got here sort of some of our success stories, and this is what we have concluded. So when you Google your fresh fruit, strawberries, whatever it is, and you ask, what is the moisture content of this fresh fruit? It's always between 85 and 95% moisture content. So that means with fresh fruit, you're adding if you weigh like 8 ounces of fresh fruit, that is 85 to 95% water. And that water that is inside your fresh fruit will dilute the alcohol. So if you're starting with a regular 35% vodka, which is what most people use for dry fruit extracting,
or vanilla extracting.
So if you're starting with a 35% alcohol, which is a 70 proof vodka, and you add 8 ounces of fresh fruit, your alcohol content just got almost cut in half. So now you're below the sweet spot. So when we make extracts, our goal is to always be somewhere between 35% alcohol and 50% alcohol. Now you can be a little bit below and you can be a little bit above, and you're going to be just fine for at-home extract making, but we have found in our experience that the ideal extract is made between 35% alcohol and 50% alcohol. So when you add fresh fruit, you have to take the dilution of the fresh fruit into consideration. So here's the formula. Are you ready? Start with a 190 proof Everclear, right here. A 190 proof Everclear is 95% alcohol. Add 8 ounces of Everclear to 8 ounces of your fresh fruit, that's 85 to 95% water, and that will get your alcohol content down to right around 50%, which is just fine. You let that sit, and we'll talk about it. We're going to make one here. Then, when it's time to change them out to get more sweetness, when you put in the second amount of fruit, you do half that amount. So the first time, if you did 8 ounces of, say, strawberries to 8 ounces of 190 proof Everclear, you take the old strawberries out. When it's time to change them out, add the new strawberries, and you add half of the amount, so only 4 ounces the second time. And that will keep your alcohol level right around 35% the second time. How was that?
That was great. Good job, honey.
Thank you. We've been practicing that because we wanted that to be clear. So
who wants to have to do a bunch of math, right?
Right.
Like me, some of you might love math. I'm not saying that's not a good thing, but for the rest of us who don't love math, it's kind of nice to kind of just find some simple rules to follow along.
So if you want to make a fresh fruit extract, 8 ounces of fresh fruit to 8 ounces of 190 proof Everclear, and then when you change it out, and we'll talk about how long that is, 4 ounces of fresh fruit to your extract solution. That will ensure that the whole time the fruit is extracting, you're somewhere between 35 and 50% alcohol. We have followed that with all of our fresh fruit extracts right here, and you know what? They are delicioso. We love them. They're super sweet. They're lovely. Let's go ahead and make one right now. Or have there been any questions?
Somebody asked about frozen fruit. You can do frozen fruit, but there's a lot of water in frozen fruit, so you kind of have to squeeze out that water, and then you're losing some of the fruit juice in it too. So you can, but I would suggest trying the fresh fruit or the dried before that. But it is possible.
Right. If it's like blueberries, sometimes they'll get like the ice on the outside. You can throw them on a cookie sheet. Just let that water like drip off, dampen them off with like a paper towel, then put them in. So you got rid of some of the moisture, but certainly you can use it. We're trying to manage how much water we're adding to that alcohol solution. Yeah. And then, like Jill said earlier, not only is there 190 proof Everclear, but if you search for rums, there are several rums that have as much alcohol as Everclear. So there are very high alcohol content rums that are also available.
Well, and they've made a big difference in some of our extracts. They've
right.
got just a little bit more flavor, and it's a little sweeter.
We did one with a peach.
Peach caramel.
A peach caramel with a super high alcohol content rum. We're going to talk about that one maybe in another live. And it turned out beautifully. So we've tried these, they work well. Let's go ahead and make one. So here we go, our fresh fruit extract.
Okay, here we go. So I chose strawberries because don't you think strawberries are just right around the corner? I hope so.
We hope so.
So cold here, it doesn't seem like spring's ever gonna come. So we chose strawberries, and this is, I've measured these strawberries ahead of time, and then I cut them into small pieces. This is 8 ounces.
8 ounces of strawberries.
And then, of course, I add vanilla to everything because I'm a crazy vanilla lady, right? So this is about 1 ounce of vanilla beans. I like a lot of vanilla flavor in it. If you want less, then just put a few beans in here. If you don't want any vanilla and you just want to make strawberry extracts, you could do that, but heaven forbid, no vanilla? What? So, 1 ounce of vanilla is what I put in here. 8 ounces of strawberries. And now all I have to do is add my Everclear.
Which we've already poured into here, right? We've measured it out.
So I've already measured it out. I'm going to fill it up. Now sometimes, depending on how small I cut my fruit, the Everclear doesn't cover my fruit. So I just let it absorb. And then once it absorbs into the fruit, I'll push it down and kind of squeeze it down in to make sure that all of the fruit is being covered by the Everclear, the alcohol. Because you want to make sure that all the fruit, if the fruit isn't covered, it could mold, and you don't want that to happen. That would not be a happy day. So, there we go. How beautiful is that?
By the way, I mean, let me just do a little close-up, because this is like the artsy part of extracting that I just love.
And there is an artsy craft of this. It's beautiful.
Isn't that fun? With the vanilla beans, the strawberries, they'll float a little bit at the beginning, right?
They'll float, but they're all still covered. Some people use a glass a weight to put on top. Some of these I have glass weights in. So we're gonna wait 4 weeks. And then we're gonna check this in your milk, 1 tablespoon of milk, put a couple drops of your extract in, and see what you think. Now in 1 month, it's going to be definitely mostly strawberry, very little vanilla, but you're gonna taste the vanilla in there. But you know, it might not be where you want it. And so that's when you can put in your second round of strawberries. But this time we talked about only 4 ounces of strawberries because you don't want to dilute that alcohol too much. So the first round, 8 ounces of strawberries, second round, 4 ounces of strawberries, and then wait another 4 weeks. Try it again with your tablespoon of milk or whipped cream or whatever you like with a couple drops and see what you think. Now, the longer you wait, the more vanilla that's going to come out of there. If you want it to mostly be strawberry and just a little bit of vanilla, it's going to be ready a lot sooner. So really, it's up to you. What's your craft? What are you looking for? That's what I love about this, is that my strawberry vanilla extract is going to be different than your strawberry vanilla extract, and that's what makes this fun.
That's what makes it fun. So someone asked, well, what about using a 40% alcohol or a 50% alcohol? So again, if you go back to our ratios at the beginning with fresh fruit, if you're starting with a 40% alcohol and you add fresh fruit, you're going to cut that alcohol content in half. And now you're going to be down at 20% alcohol. So remember, our sweet spot for good extraction in our experience has been 35% alcohol to 50% alcohol. So the method that we've taught here ensures that during that whole time, that first one that you add has you upwards of like the high end of 50%. Then when you add that half of the amount of fresh fruit the second time, so 4 ounces instead of 8 ounces to the original 8 ounces of alcohol, that gets you down to like the 35% level without dipping too much below it. So that's what you've got to keep in mind. You want your extract window to be 35 to 50% alcohol. If you start with a 95% alcohol, you're going to cut it not entirely in half because it's not 100% water, but fresh fruit is 90% water on average. So you're going to get down to 50, then you're going to get down to 35. And we've tried it. We've been working on that for the last 6 months, and they have turned out beautifully. We've had some peach extracts, some strawberry extracts, grapefruit extracts, pineapple extracts. We've tried so many different things that we're excited to show them all to you. And we'll have new recipes that we'll be publishing here shortly with all sorts of fun things related to fresh fruit extracts. So hopefully that makes sense. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. One more thing I wanted to talk about is how do you guys organize all of what you're doing? Because there's so many different steps that you have to do. And so what I decided, and everybody has their own way, but I thought I'd show how I do it, and maybe it'll be helpful and you can build off of that and figure out your own way. I love masking tape. I just put masking tape on, I say what it is, I say what my next step is, and then I always put like the date on the bottom. And then that way, when I get to my next step, I just pull off that tape and there's no residue. I don't have to worry about any stickiness. I don't have to cross anything out. I just pull it off, put a new piece of tape. I put my next step on there, or if it's finished, I just have the name and then the date when I started on the bottom. So it's really, really easy with masking tape to organize that way. I know a lot of you have journals, however you want to do that, but organizing is a real big part of extracting.
And we have learned over time that we typically start with function when we're making the extract, and then we'll transfer finished extracts into like really cute, beautiful, pretty gift jars when we're giving them out as gifts. But you know, canning jars are great, others are great.
Well, you can see these aren't super fancy. This is just my, you know, not very pretty handwriting that I just put it on there really quick, and this is just life right here. You know, life isn't pretty every day, but when we get finished, we can put it in beautiful bottles and give it as a gift.
Someone said, can you make cinnamon extract? You can. There's a recipe on our website. Anytime, again, you're using dry products like dried cinnamon or allspice or cloves or cacao or vanilla beans, you go back to your regular spirits. You're starting with something that is 35 to 45% alcohol, and you're just making one round in that.
Which is so easy. You can just pick so many different alcohols, whatever you like.
It's only when you're adding fresh fruit that you're adding all that moisture, so you have to start with a higher proof alcohol at the very beginning. So for all the discussion about fresh fruit extracts, we hope that's helpful. Again, Jill mentioned an important point. We wait a month before we do the first change out. Why not 2 or why not 3? We found that with fresh fruit, it's not like vanilla beans. It's not like it keeps getting like exponentially sweeter over time.
It can a little bit, but not like vanilla.
Right, so we find that it kind of reaches its sweet spot at a month. And the reason that we discovered that is we forgot about 1 or 2 of them, and we left them for like 3 or 4 months. And then you tasted those against the other ones that we changed out after a month.
They're the same.
And they were pretty similar. I mean, there was a little bit maybe, but pretty similar. So we don't, so far in our very limited experience, but we've done a few obviously, we find that
this is just some of them.
This is just some of them. We don't have a room like Starlet does, but we have a closet and we have a basement. So we got extracts everywhere. But in our experience, fresh fruit kind of peaks its sweetness after about a month.
Well, and the good thing is that if you forget about it, and I have, because I started out and I wasn't sure how to organize it, and so then I forgot about stuff, and so, some things sat a lot longer than I really intended them to, but they were fine. They're not going to mold. Nothing's going to happen to them. They're just going to, stop, the berries are going to just stop extracting, and then, you
change them out.
But if they sit in there longer, they're not going to mold. Nothing's going to happen. They're sitting in alcohol. And if you've got vanilla in there, it's going to keep extracting. So if you forget and it is in there longer, no worries. You're going to be fine.
So Ruth Ann Batten, hi Ruth Ann, we love Ruth
Hi,
Ann.
Ruth Ann.
Hello. She just asked a great question. She said, doesn't the Everclear hurt the vanilla beans that's in here? Because we have all these warnings, like if you use Everclear for vanilla extract, you're going to have a problem. So that's a great question. But remember, Ruth Ann, as soon as we added the strawberries, we added about 7 ounces of water to the Everclear. So this is a diluted Everclear.
Mm-hmm.
And so the beans are actually just fine, because now we're down to like 50% alcohol content.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we add more strawberries in a month, we're going to be at like 35%. So those beans are going to be just fine inside the Everclear because the fresh fruit dilutes it. And that's the reason that we do it the way that we do it. So that's a great question, Ruth Ann. Thank you. Let's see, if you can only get 120 proof. Oh, this is a great question. Kathy Donaldson, thank you. I've heard this, that there's regulations on Everclear all around the country, which is surprising that we get higher in Utah. Usually Utah's really, really strict, but in some places you can only get like 120 proof Everclear. So if that's the case, if your maximum alcohol content that you can get is 120 proof, which your alcohol content is half of the proof, so if it's 120 proof, that's 60% alcohol. Then you just have to do a little math in your head, right? So in your case, with 120 proof, you could add 1 round of fresh fruit, and that's it. And that'll be close to 35. It might even be a little less than 35, but then that's it. If you put in more fresh fruit a second time, you're not going to be able, your alcohol content's going to drop way down to like 15, 20, and you're not going to have a good outcome. So if you can only get a 120 proof, which is 60% alcohol, in your mind, just kind of cut that almost in half. It's not 30, it's a little more than 30. You're going to be like 33, 34%, which is really close to that 35% minimum with your first round of fresh fruit. So unfortunately, those of you that can't get like a real high proof, you're probably only going to get 1 round of extraction. Now, the question then, is 1 round of extraction really good? Super good. Super good. Just
that's fine.
2 rounds of extraction was better. In our minds, but we could easily use it after 1 round of extraction with the fresh.
Yep.
Really good. A second round, we liked it. It gave just a little more sweetness.
Well, and you try it out. Let it go a little bit longer and see if you think you can get any more, flavor out of the fruit.
Those are really good questions that are coming up. Do you take out the original fruit when you add the second batch, or do you keep it in? You take it out. We're actually going to do that in our next segment, because we have a strawberry one here that is ready to be used.
Yep.
And we're going to show you exactly how we take it out and what that looks like. So great question.
Yes.
We'll show you. The vanilla beans, however, can stay in for as long as the extract is around, because those vanilla beans just keep extracting and extracting over time. And that vanilla with the strawberry, or the vanilla with the pineapple, or the vanilla with the peaches, or the vanilla with all these fruits that we've done, if they're good with just a strawberry or peach, they're incredible with that creamy vanilla like undertone that kind of binds the fruit and the alcohol together. It's lovely.
And you can just add, if you want for the vanilla to be kind of just the binder and kind of the background, and mostly, the fruit up front, just add, a few beans. You don't have to add a whole ounce.
Yep.
I'm just, I like vanilla.
These are such good
Yeah,
questions.
great question.
We're clearly talking about something here that people had lots of questions about, and so we hope that this has been helpful. Again, there will be a part 2 here in just a second. We'll show you how to change it out. But wow, great questions. Love this. This has been a super informative segment. We've only got 18 minutes left, so we got to go quick. But first, we're going to take a quick break
Oh, yes.
for the following messages for our extract making group. We got vanilla beans to give away.
We do.
And we want to do that, like before we get into our final change out, right? So we have our top 10 contributors. This list is created by Facebook. It's not by us. We just look on Facebook, and Facebook shows us who our top 10 contributors were over the last 28 days. We read the list. Everybody on this list gets 1 ounce of free Madagascar, 1 ounce, singular, not plural. 1 ounce of free Madagascar vanilla beans. So email us afterwards and we'll make sure we get this order put together and sent out for you. So we're going to go backwards to top for our top 10 contributors. Our number 10 contributor, Holly Kaplan Timer. Or did I pronounce it? Timer. Forgive me. Holly, new member of our group. Holly, so glad to have you with us. Congratulations, you get free beans. Number 9?
Michelle Pagetta.
Michelle! Thank you, Michelle. Free beans coming your way. Number 8, Debbie Bennett.
Debbie!
We love Debbie. Congratulations. Beans on their way. Number 7,
Debbie Perry Thomas.
Debbie Perry Thomas. We love Debbie. Beans on your way, Debbie. Number 6,
Roxanne Young.
Roxanne Young.
Oh, we love you, Roxanne.
We're right up. We love, I think everyone's enjoying our expert day that we do. We've got a few more. We're trying to get into a rhythm and get those out every couple of weeks. But as I see some of these names, and I'm thinking now of who they are because they've sent answers to those interviews and their pictures.
Yeah.
It's like just when we think you're like the best people ever, we see those interviews and it's like, wow, these are amazing people.
Yes.
So thank you for all of you that have participated in that. Where do we leave off?
And
Bouchon. Congratulations, Anne.
Who is another one of our spotlight
She
experts.
is. Number 4, BJ
BJ
Shaw. BJ, we love you, BJ. Number 3,
Nancy Ripley Neal.
Nancy. Congratulations. Number 2,
Lori Lanford.
Lori Lanford.
Thank you.
And our number 1 contributor over the last 28 days who hails from just on the other side of that mountain from us, right?
Yes, right behind us in this mountain.
Every now and then in the middle of the night we yodel back and forth and she can hear us and we hear her. But Julie Provost Hardman, congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you for all of your contributions.
By the way, Julie, I think you need to tell your husband that you have free beans coming because her husband just bought her like a bunch of vanilla beans.
Oh,
he is the nicest guy on the planet. So, Julie, let him know more beans are coming, and we're glad to contribute to the amazing collection that she's making in her home. It's crazy awesome. Okay, so congratulations. Thank you to all of our top contributors. We wouldn't be a great group if people didn't participate, and we have the best participants on the planet. So thank you. Okay, so it's time to wrap up.
Oh, okay.
Here's our final thing. So we showed you how to start the Everclear fresh fruit extract, and now we want to show you just a couple of tricks on how to finish it. We've already taste tested this. We know that it's ready. For fruit extracts, we use the milk and the whipped cream method. I don't think we'll do it. We're running out of time, but we put a couple of drops in like a shot glass of milk, stir it up, taste it. If we like the taste, it's ready to go. If we don't like the taste,
then we leave it.
We'll leave it a little longer. Again, with the fresh fruit, it's kind of done when it's done.
Yeah.
But you can leave it a little longer and maybe get some added sweetness, but it's kind of done when it's done.
Yeah, so what I do is I'll just take a couple drops. This is my strawberry vanilla extract, and it's ready to be done. It's got everything in it still. So before I take it out, I kind of just want to taste it. So I've got a couple drops. Stir it in, and just take a little sip. Yeah, that's
It's lovely, isn't it? Here, I'm gonna have a little sip just because it's fun.
So there's a couple ways you can do this.
Oh my
I
gosh.
have my Chemex that I have for coffee in the morning, and this is how I kind of strain out a lot of my fruit extracts. What I'll do, because I can just walk away and let it do its work. So if you have a coffee filter, you can do this however you want. So I just put my coffee filter on the top of my Chemex, and then I'm just going to pour this in. This is my orange vanilla cranberry bliss is what I call it. And I'm just pouring it
Got that weight in there, yeah.
and I have a glass weight in the top, so once I get close enough, I just pull that out. And then I just pour all of it There's a lot of stuff in there.
There you go.
And so then I walk away and I let it do its thing.
And so we just let gravity kind of clean it all up. And what we found when we do this method and just sort of let it drain is the extract is so clear and so pure. And so then when we put this in the little gift bottles to give to neighbors, it is like a clear, whatever the color is of what we've created. This one, remind me again, this was the
Orange Cranberry Bliss.
Orange Cranberry Bliss.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it's kind of coming out, but you'll be able to see right through it. It's crystal clear and the taste is amazing and it's a beautiful extract. So the Chemex has been a real handy tool for us in letting our extracts sort of just filter out and let gravity do its job.
This is our peach vanilla caramel, and this is what it looks like at the end. I did take out my vanilla beans on this one because I was using them for something else, but you can see how clear that is. And that had caramel in it. You know, that looked something like this a few weeks ago.
And when we say caramel, it had like the caramel candies, not Werther's. We actually use the soft caramels. We really like those. The Werther's are great as well, but we like sort of those soft, the ones you make caramel apples with,
just
right?
the squares you get at the grocery store.
So this one we just barely made.
Yeah.
And it's kind of thick right now, and it becomes what you just saw right here when we're all done with it.
Yep.
So, kind of fun, like that final finished look is when you're gifting it, it's a really important part just to make it look wonderful, right?
Yep. So this is just doing its thing by gravity. I can walk away, I don't have to worry about it. Another way that I do this, if I want to get it done,
One second, someone wanted to see this close
they
up.
want to see
I'm
it,
going to be
okay.
very careful,
Yeah.
but you can see it's doing its thing. You can kind of see it dripping there.
You want to show them
You
the
see how
other
clear
side
that
with all the
is?
good stuff in it?
And then you can kind of see the top with all the good stuff. I mean, it's still up there, so I don't want to tip it out, but you can kind of see it there. But you see how clear that's becoming on the bottom? And by the way, the smell,
Yeah.
oh my heavens.
It's very, very good. And once I get all of the liquid out and it stops dripping, then I'll push down all of that fruit to make sure that I get all of the alcohol out of the fruit. There won't be anything left in there. And then I'll put the vanilla back in it, or I'll use my vanilla in something else. I never throw away my vanilla.
Tons of uses for everything. We try not to throw anything away.
Yeah.
There's always a use.
Okay, so another way you can do it is you can just
Use
have
a
a
strainer.
strainer right over your
And this way is a little faster. So if you're in a hurry and you got to get these things into jars quickly, you're going to have a little more sediment that makes its way through because this is a fine mesh strainer, but it's not as fine as a coffee filter.
And I am just pushing on the strawberries right now to get all of the liquid out. That's just how I do that. And then I put in another thing, and then I just go to the next thing.
So we just keep pushing all the moisture that we can out of those fruit pieces to
And then
make
I
sure
take the vanilla and I just put it right back in.
we leave that vanilla in forever and ever.
Yeah. Unless you're using it for something else.
Yep. And so there we go. So those are the two methods. Obviously this one, there's still fluid on the top. And so this one's going to take a lot longer. How long will you leave that? I mean, an hour?
Probably like 45 minutes. It's still dripping. It takes a while.
But we'll wait until it's done dripping and just let it go. So don't start it right before you go to bed or you're going to be up a little bit later, right?
Well, it'll be fine. You know, you just pull out the vanilla and put it in there and nothing will, you know.
Yeah.
Unless you're wanting to use that fruit and stuff for something, then you'll want to get to it before.
There you go. Okay.
We're just pushing all that out,
So that's it.
just like that.
And those were strawberries. Why don't we show them what the strawberries look like? Go ahead and pour what the last little bit in and I'll just take the close up. I'll put a paper towel underneath it. And let me just show them what old strawberries look like after they've been extracted. Because some people will say, are my strawberries, did I ruin it?
No, they aren't pretty.
They're not
that's
pretty.
For sure.
Let's see if I can get it there. They turn brown. You know, they're not, let me see if there's a light here. 1 minute.
And this was made with vodka.
There we go.
No, not vodka. This was fresh strawberries, so it was Everclear. So the alcohol was clear. The alcohol isn't coloring the strawberries at all.
Yep. So they'll turn brown. They look kind of yucky. Some people will be like, oh no, I ruined it. The pineapple does the same thing. The peaches do the same thing. They turn kind of a brown color. as they're extracting, that's just fine. That's the alcohol doing its job and the oils being extracted out of the fruit that's in there.
Now somebody asked, so what are you going to do with all of this? What do you put this in, right? So, oh my goodness, this strawberry, you can put this in frostings, you can put it in cakes.
Creams, custard, creme brulee, our fruit extracts are the things where you want like that hint of fruit. So typically it's like the creams, the custards, the frostings, the pastries, the pies, things that are associated with fruit.
And if you let the vanilla go long enough, then you've got a flavor of vanilla and strawberry. So you don't have to add extra liquid for an additional extract. You've got both in one.
Yeah.
And then another one of my favorite is this chocolate. It doesn't have anything, it doesn't have a label on it because I know what it is. I use it all the time. I put it in a little tiny bit in my coffee. Sometimes I'll put it in a smoothie in the morning. You can put a little bit of it in frosting, even a tiny bit in tea. Like, there are so many fun, different applications, and that's what's fun is just like trying it out. Like, what's this gonna taste like?
And a lot of it happens like we're cooking and we're making something new, and especially during the holiday season or any other time, and we're making maybe a different homemade ice cream in the summer with a different flavor. And so then we don't just reach for the vanilla extract anymore. We open the cabinet and we're like, ooh, maybe.
Well, sometimes we do.
Sometimes we do, but maybe it's like, maybe we use the peach caramel for this, or maybe we use so it's, the idea is to have all the different flavor applications at your fingertips, so as you're making something new, you can try something new and get an entirely new taste. But
it's so fun, it's whatever you create. It truly is a craft.
It truly is a craft. So that is our show today. Let's make sure we don't have any outstanding questions that we haven't answered. Jams and jellies, yes. Wonderful. Strawberry muffins, yes, whoa. Wonderful. The list goes on and on and on and on. So that's it. That is our show today. We are so glad that we've had everyone here. We appreciate it. We want to give a big shout out to the people that have done lives before. We've had several of our extracts our extract experts that have put on lives. In fact, Starlet, we're going to announce this here, but Starlet will be doing a live in a couple of weeks, maybe a little sooner than that. I think it's actually a week from St. Patrick's Day. We'll put all the details in our group, but we're really excited about this next live that Starlet has planned. It's going to be a wonderful live. And then we've got some other fun things planned. We're trying to do more lives now. We'll be kind of busy with lives and other things. Over the course of the summer. We're exploring, as all of you saw in the group, we're exploring the idea of a convention.
We're hoping
we're putting together some numbers right now to see if we can make a convention work. It looked like Chicago, Illinois, and Salt Lake City were the two, almost a tie, the two most popular places for a first get-together. We know those things take time to plan, so we're hurrying up and trying to see if we can make one happen so we can let you know as soon as possible to get as many people together as we can. But getting a convention in place and getting all of you together is on our goal sheet of things that we're trying to do in 2023, to really like expand our group and to help everyone get to know each other in person. So we've got so many different plans and things that we're excited about, and then a big announcement coming in the spring that we're really excited to talk about.
Yes.
So we have been very busy. Again, like we said at the beginning, our number one priority is to make sure that we source tons of great vanilla beans for all of you to really help you, with your extraction and to give you all sorts of flavors to choose from. Make sure those beans get in, process, and get out the door to you and get to your doorstep as quickly as we possibly can. That's every day. That's our priority number one.
Yep.
Priority number two is making sure that our website is full of great information that can really help you to make sure that your first extract always turns out great. And in conjunction with that, we want to make sure that our group is a source of great information and the kindest, nicest, happiest people on Facebook. We're really trying to show the world that social media is nice and that humans are sweet and we love hanging out with each other. And so we want our group to continue to be the happiest place on Facebook as it's been over the last 2.5 years because of you and because of all of you that contribute and do such a great job. So thank you so much to all of you for being you. I think we've answered a lot of questions. Have you seen any that I've missed here?
Yeah, someone asked about a graded filter, if that'll work. I've never tried one. It won't hurt. Try it, and if you don't like it, then you can always go to a coffee filter. You can always try things. If they don't work, then take a step back and try something else the next time, or try it again and just see if it works out better. I've learned so many things by trial and error. Some more errors, but lately more, I've really found some success and a lot of these, and it's not a hard, fast rule. You kind of have to just make sure that that alcohol content is still up there, but then play around with all kinds of different spices and fruits and different vanilla beans and spirits, and before you know it, you're going to be so far down that rabbit hole, you're going to be with all the rest of us.
With all the rest of us. One final announcement, because we have just a couple of minutes left. I don't think I said this at the beginning of the show. We've been announcing this for like 6 months now, but we're going to hit 100,000 members here in the next few months, sometime around there. When we hit 100,000 group members, one of you is going to receive 1 pound of Madagascar vanilla. Someone else is going to receive 8 ounces of Madagascar vanilla, and someone else is going to receive 4 ounces, and then a lot of you are going to receive 1 ounces. Our way of just saying thanks. Thanks for sharing our group. Thanks for inviting your friends and family to join our group. And again, thanks for being the kind people that you are when people come to our group.
Making it a safe place.
Making it a safe place. Yeah. Allowing someone new to say, can I ask this stupid question that I'm sure you've answered 100 times? And we have answered it 100 times, but nothing makes us happier
than keep answering it.
Than answering those questions. Help these wonderful new people that are learning how to make extracts. Learn how to do so from the nicest people on Facebook with the best advice on Facebook. So that's our goal, right?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, we will do another live. Until next time, thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for coming back into our kitchen. We'll have the replay in our group. It'll be live, and then we'll put it up on YouTube as well, so you'll see it there. You can go to our YouTube channel, but we'll have it available, and then we'll get it put on our website as well, so it's easy to find these replays. We'll kind of divide it up so you can see parts and pieces of it where it's relevant. But we hope this was super helpful. We hope you had fun. Thank you for the interaction, and we are so excited to see you when we do our next live. Until then,
happy extracting.
Happy extracting. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye.